Hi everybody, Carol here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making a video of my top 10 favorite cards that I made in 2018. I got this idea from Justine Hovey. I will put her name in the description box below. And she did this and I thought it was a great idea, so I wanted to try it. The first card I made is a Shadowbox card, and these are in no particular order of which ones I like the best. But this is an accordion Shadowbox card where the sides are pleated, and you put in your designs in different levels into those different pleats. This is the snowflake border that I've used many times from Doris, and then that is how it closes up to make a box. And so then I'll pull in a little village die, and there is a snowflake die, and on a different level, so it's raised up and casts another shadow. Here's the village die, and I put some little yellow pieces behind the windows, so look, the light shining through the window. You can layer this on different levels and close it up, and when you close it up, I will even put some more snowflakes on the front. But I had these teeny tiny little snowflakes that came out of another die. It was the byproduct, so I put them down, put another piece of snowflake border on this, trim it out to fit, and a teeny tiny piece that I cut off and glued to the back of the frame. The next cards I'm making are impossible cards, and I have unfortunately accidentally deleted those videos. Those are two of my favorites, but I made another one at Christmas time, and this is how it works out. Depending on how you cut and fold the paper, it becomes an impossible card because it looks as if it is impossible to be from one sheet of paper. Then you decorate the front and what ends up being the back, and this is what you come up with. You can put a strip across the open space if you want to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But these are the ones that a camper, and I call this Sunburst. The next card is what is known as a Sidestep Card. You cut and fold it also, and pleat the one side or two sides, however you want to do it, and it gives some dimension and casts a shadow again. And you can decorate down in the valley, that's what I call it, or however you want to do it, and it gives some shadow and dimension, and it adds interest. And this was a Simon Says stamp kit, and but as you'll see, when I turn it sideways, you'll see that it's kind of like a tent, and I even show in some of the videos how you can keep that from going splat. Something I do to keep it sturdy so that it won't go out on you. So that is the one made, and I did some brush lettering on the side, fantastic, from the kit. And speaking of brush lettering, that's another thing that I love to do, so I'm doing a very short, humorous quote from Oscar Wilde with a Pentel Touch brush pen, and this says, "Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go." So I enjoy doing this. I enjoy reading quotes, and they can be very uplifting or entertaining and inspirational. I've sped this up, of course. And I go back and erase the lines. Now the next one is an interactive card called a Waterfall Card. It's too complex to go into at this in this video, but you can look it up on my YouTube channel, and I'll have a link to all of these in the description box. Layer those. You do some scoring, some cutting out, some gluing. Layer them onto the card. Put them onto the card with a band, and then you can pull it down, and that's why it's called a Waterfall Card. The next one was the Simon Says card kit with Yupo paper and alcohol inks. I so enjoyed playing with those. And then for a border to echo the same colors, I just went to the trimmer and cut a bunch of little bitty pieces and glued them onto another color paper. These leaves and little clusters of grapes were a different stamp. I stamped them and colored them, cut them out, and glued them around just wherever I thought they looked good. And then I stamped a sentiment, said thinking of you, and glued it to the front. The next card is what I call booklet card. I punch holes on the sides and string them together. This has stamping with chocolate and then some brush lettering, but I take two block letters, stamps, anything that's the same height, put it between the cards. Now I'm showing you right now that I had cut that out, putting down the chocolate, had stamped some little hearts in the background, rearranged, did some coloring with some Prismacolors, but I wanted these to be separated. These are going to be my binder rings, so to speak, and I wanted them to be the same height apart, the rings to be the same size, even though it's yarn, they're not rings. But so I tied them so that they would be equal, so that when I open it up, you can see they are the same distance apart, and it worked really well for me. I do go back and do a little bit of coloring, and this is a Charles Schulz quote that says, "All you need is love, but a little chocolate now and then doesn't hurt." He's the Peanuts guy. Then I made a fall card, Happy Thanksgiving. It could be anything, and these are definitely the fall colors. Layered them, long skinny card, stamped some houses, put them down, and then the leaves are these two-step cards where you can stamp the bottom and then go back and stamp the veins on top, or do it the opposite way. I played around with my ink colors on the leaves with the ink pads, and then stamped a little pumpkin, colored it, cut it out, and then another little stamp that had Happy Thanksgiving on it. So here's another version that's just slightly easier because I didn't have to cut all the individual leaves out. I stamped them onto a separate sheet of paper, same process, leaves and veins, different colored ink pads, different colored inks on the leaves, and that's fun to play with in itself. Then the pumpkin and the saying Happy Thanksgiving, and they fit in a regular business size envelope. That's what I liked about it. Hope you enjoy that one. And then this one was from a Simon Says Stamp card kit. A lot of coloring. I did a red background. It's kind of a rusty brick red and a teal colored piece on top of that. I stamped the flowers, and that's all one big stamp. Colored them. Now I don't normally do this. I'm surprised I even did it. I almost always let my Tombow glue set aside and dry, and then it's repositionable, but I actually put it directly down. Colored. I'm just showing that I colored this with some Prismacolors. Would not waste your time showing that, but that's how that one turned out. Now this is called an explosion box. It's again a little complicated and a little complex to try to go into a video like this, but it starts off with the shape of a plus sign, and you and there are other ways to do it also, but then decorate each little wing of this card on different levels. There might be 4 or 5 levels, and I'm putting the green paper behind that so that you don't get confused, and you can see we're just working on one little piece at a time. And the sky's the limit on this as far as your stamping or your hole punching or what you want to do. The pockets, I thought with this one I put a film strip that I'd stamped out, and then get a piece of card that says favorite film. You could fill this in for somebody, or you could give it to them and let them fill out what their favorite things are. Music, your favorite song. I just took a hole punch and punched a little circle out of the middle of that. And again, stamping of stars. You could put a photo on that page, your pet, a trip, just happy anything. Happy trip, happy birthday, happy anniversary. And then the next level, even more things. And you just keep adding and adding. Each level's a little smaller than the one before. And then this is my last level. I used silver paper because I did red, white, and black, and I thought a touch of silver would be good. These are some of the things I put on it. A quote, tied something on with string, a heart, and I also made a lid. I didn't show that, but there's a lid that you fold the little wings up and it makes a box, and then you put the lid on top, and it's really neat. So I hope you enjoyed this very fast the Shadowbox, the Impossible card, the Sidestep card, the Yupo with the alcohol inks, the Waterfall, the Booklet card, the Explosion, brush lettering, stamping, coloring. I hope you enjoyed and will come back. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.